Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, Bitcoin is pumping. Bitcoin is hitting all-time new highs. And this is the kickoff of a major crypto rally, in my opinion. We are entering a major crypto bull run. So I wanted to get this video out to go over the top 50 cryptocurrencies, their markets, and the relative opportunities that I see there. And this is all to my perspective, and so take that with a grain of salt. This is not investment advice, and this is just my research. And it's entirely possible that I'm wrong. It's just the way I see things. But I did want to get my opinion out there with my information out there so that people can just consider it and see if it helps them with their worldview and with their strategies to see if they could help it, if it could help some people make better decisions. So this is a subjective analysis on relative market opportunity. This is an analysis of markets and coins in relation to those markets of the top 50 projects by market cap. So, once again, it's just a an analysis of the markets and my perspective of the opportunities there. Now, I am not a Bitcoin maximalist. I think that there is a lot of opportunity in the altcoins. However, people smarter than me, such as Michael Saylor, he's a billionaire, and he is a Bitcoin maximalist. He says Bitcoin is all you should care about, in his opinion. So there's smarter people than me saying that you shouldn't care about any of this, that you should only care about Bitcoin, and that is something you should put in your weight of opinion. Also, he makes the point, Bitcoin gives monetary policy to engineers and takes it away from politicians. Well, I actually agree with him here. I think cryptocurrency will give monetary policy, monetary thinking, economy, financial instruments to the engineers. And so this is going to make society function better. And that's why there's a huge opportunity here. However, he is only cared about Bitcoin, and and so that is something to consider. But I do not take that opinion. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the markets, each market that crypto serves. And what a market is something people are willing to pay for, whether that's time, energy, talent, resources, etc. It doesn't have to be payments. It could be, Bitcoin's mining network, or it could be Ethereum's programming, how you devote your time and energy into Ethereum, or, just payments. So a market, that's what a market really is. Is it something people are willing to pay for? It's something people want. And from the market, you're going to have projects that are going to receive market share. And so there's going to be value flow to those projects that are aiming to fulfill that market. And, I have a little market indicator and also the rank next to each project. Now, one of the things I'm going to analyze is between two markets, you're going to have value flow. And what I did is I made it like a vector, and I just subtracted one from the other to just get the net value flow between markets. This is all my opinion from research. But what it is the long run, the way I think that these markets are going to relate to each other. And so it'll look like a net flow of value between markets, such as one market will be paying another one more. And so you will see one arrow, even though they will obviously be intercommunicating and inter-sharing value. So this can be thought of net payments between markets, especially in the long run. So the long run, okay? So one of the things I do want to get out is it's a narrative that I think is underplayed, not really well understood yet, even though it has been, it did get some hype recently. But this narrative, and this is something that I even see as an overall picture. This is a top-down view of where I see crypto in general heading into this bull run and even into the subsequent bull run, where I see crypto heading. So we're still extremely early in crypto, and that's why there's such a massive opportunity. We're still extremely early. There's still there's a 1000x gain to opportunities everywhere. And one of the reasons why is we're like in the ARPANET. So you have these few blockchains interconnected, Ethereum, EOS, whatever, Bitcoin, all these blockchains being interconnected. Ethereum could be thought of as a computer. It is like a time-sharing computer, just like in the the ARPANET. You have a couple computers connected, and Time sharing is just everybody has their little slot and they get to have access to this computer. So that's what Ethereum is. All the transactions go into a block and they go in order, and that's your little time slot. Whenever you get in is your little time slot of Ethereum's computation. So that's where we are. We're like at the early stage of before the internet with blockchains. But where we're going, so like once again, each one of these projects on Ethereum works in isolation from each other. They don't share each other's data. If they do, it has to be programmed explicitly. It's not an aspect that's already programmed in. So it's wasted work and it's longer distance travel between the information highway there. So that's higher costs. Now, where I see things going is like the first internet. And that is, we're like in 1967 of the blockchains when we get to this. And we're not even there yet. That's why we're so early. And that's why there's so much opportunity to make a fortune. Many blockchains join together as a web of blockchains. I think that's going to be a narrative. And what that's going to mean is we're going to get standard languages and standard protocols. We're going to come up with some standards that everybody agrees to. So this is going to be, we're going to get some standard. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a framework that's going to come in here and interconnect everything. So the blockchains will suddenly be able to communicate, and it will be, like if Ethereum wants to access AI, it will make a few jumps to get to the AI services. And this will be, the blockchain that runs AI, or the parachain that runs AI. And there will be a parachain that has some services here, and it'll be a few jumps to get to Ethereum. So that is the way it'll be an information highway. It will be it'll be an internet of blockchains. And so the interoperability solution is going to be the standard language protocol established. And, it's not going to be just DOT, because even that is a center point of failure. It's going to be several relay chains like DOT, Kusama, Relay, etc. That's the way I think it's going to play out. Obviously DOT's going to be one of the biggest ones, Kusama, one of the biggest ones. And what those are is they're relay chains with, if you watch my Polkadot video, with the parachains, and these are like individual projects, and they all can intercommunicate. So that's the way I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an internet of parachains, and Ethereum and those kind of projects as well. So one of the reasons I'm going into this right now is I think the interoperability and framework architecture play in the crypto space is one of the most assured win that there is. And the reason why is you're going to have all these different markets, and they're going to be communicating with each other over this information highway. So what Polkadot and these relay chains will represent is this highway, this information highway, all of this. And they're going to take their tolls for allowing for these projects to intercommunicate. So it's one of the most assured plays, in my opinion. And at some point, this will be established. So these little markets will be able to communicate with each other. Now, I do want to point out, Michael Saylor thinks only Bitcoin is important. So you got to take that into consideration. This guy has a fortune much bigger than mine, so that speaks volumes to his opinion. Okay, so this is the markets ranked in this cycle, and this is them ranked in what I see as the long run. And this is my opinion on my research. So I see DeFi as being one of the markets that I think is going to grow the quickest in users. Then DEXs, decentralized exchanges. Fiat equivalents, NFTs, interoperability being like around the fifth, but I see all of these as being really large. Trustless data streams, general purpose trust computers like Ethereum, EOS like those, SEX, centralized exchanges. I think some new markets are going to arise in this. We're going to get innovations. Digital payments, privacy, store value, AI, more innovation, and trusted data storage. So this is where I see things in general. This is the way I see the order of those markets. But mostly, this run is going to be centered still around Ethereum. Ethereum is where it's at. If you look at the market today, 80% of it's Ethereum and Bitcoin, and that's it. And I think that's going to continue through this market because Ethereum has all of these on Ethereum. It's just on Ethereum right now. All of those markets that I just said are just on Ethereum right now. However, I don't see that being the case in the long run. I obviously think Ethereum's going to play a pivotal role in the future, but I don't think it's going to be the center. Obviously it could, because when Ethereum upgrades, it's going to have a lot of those functionalities, like the Web3 protocol. Okay, in the longer run, the way I see things is you have the interoperability play that I just went over earlier. DeFi, DEX, AI. AI will be one of the higher ones. Right now I think it's not going to be a big player in the market, but I think it's going to move up substantially in the long run. And it's going to play a more and more important role. General purpose trust computers, that's what Ethereum is, and those kind of projects. More innovation, oracles, privacy, digital payments, store value, trustless data storage. And then one of the other narratives that I see in the long run is centralized exchanges and fiat equivalents will die. They will, and the reason why is because of the government will probably overregulate them and put a target on their back because they're central points of failure. But that's the way I see things. Okay, so another top-down view. This is the reason I'm so bullish on interoperability, because I see all of these markets as sending back, like I said early on, the net flow of value. The net flow of value, I see that in order for AI to access store of value, or for DeFi to access AI, for AI to use it, how are they going to connect to each other? This will be a blockchain. There will be an AI blockchain. There will be a centralized AI. And what they will do is these centralized AIs, or these AI blockchains, will jump onto the interoperability standard framework, and then it'll have access to DeFi. And so every single one of these markets will be connected. There will be specialized blockchains, and they will have their purposes, and they will connect to the other functionalities through this framework and jump to the other service. And so they will all be using this information highway. And so this is why I think it's the most assured bet. And I also see a lot of flowing of value into that, and it being where the most opportunity is. However, in this first bull run, I don't see that being the case. I have these projects ranked over here. And so I see, most of the opportunity as far as those who are going to gain as being DeFi. So these projects right here, being the first gainers. So that's, the Aave, Wi-Fi, Maker, Compounded Cell. These are the projects that I see benefiting the most, moving up the list of the top 50. Obviously, there's projects, below the top 50 that are probably even going to move faster, and keep that in mind. The next one that I have that I see the biggest opportunity for, the number 2 biggest market in terms of growth, are these. The UMA Synthetics, the Synthetic Units, Uni, and FTT. Those are the projects that you should look out for. Number 2, that I think are going to move up the list of the 50 and gain competitive position. I think Internet of Management, I think, is going to be neutral. Stay where they relatively are. I have fiat equivalents. Okay, so this is another reason. This is one of Ethereum's major use cases right now, and I only see this growing in this particular bull run. More and more people are going to want to have dollars, whether they're in foreign governments or whether they're people trying to just use the dollar for interest or whatever. I see that actually growing quite substantially, and so this is basically just Ethereum. And many of these projects, actually a lot of these projects are just built on Ethereum. Ethereum is all in this run. If you don't have Ethereum, you don't know what's going on. But, like Michael Saylor says, Bitcoin's all that matters. So, who knows? Okay, so you have trustless data solutions. So this is the oracles. Link is the only one in the top 50, so that you should consider that. General purpose trust computers. Okay, so the general purpose guys are just, you can think of Ethereum as just being a computer. And it is a computer where everyone has time access to it. And that's what EOS, Ethereum, Crypto.com, Ethereum Classic, Zem, Tron, Tezos, Neo, and Zilliqa. Those of the top 50 go for the general purpose, general platform functionality. Obviously, Ethereum's the most assured play on that. Okay, so that is the trustless That is the general purpose computer. Now, centralized exchanges, I expect to still grow. There's still people using that. I personally don't prefer those. I do think in the long run, centralized exchanges are a point of failure, but I think that will grow quite substantially. And BNB will probably benefit from that as well. Digital payments being the next one. And then the rest I see as just holding their positions and, not moving too aggressively up the list. But those are the ones I'm the most bullish about. So just to emphasize with this video, one of the major emphasis of this video is the interoperability play, to keep it in the back of your mind, even if you're not going to make that play this bull run. I think it's one of the most assured plays, just like the Ethereum play was in 2017. I think the interoperability, if Polkadot gets running and it starts, Polkadot, Kusama, if those relay projects start really capturing launches and running and applications, this is what they are. They are an interface. They are the information highway. They are the standard. They're like the HTTP protocol. They are the web. They are the ones that are going to be taking that toll highway. If you think about America in the sense of a top-down view, one of the things that made the Roman Empire and America strong was the highway systems, and that's what we're entering in the blockchain space. We're creating the highway systems. We're creating the standards, and that is how valuable America could be said. It could be said that America is its roadways, because that's the veins that connect everything, the businesses, the resources, so if you had an opportunity to buy the American road system, if you could buy the American roads and, forever throw your toll, you're going to be all making money from the growth of America. Or, it's the same kind of thinking. The highway system is the most assured bet. That is my take. Just wanted to get it out there for my guys, my viewers, and you can take it what you will. This is my perspective, and of course I always enter these things with the belief that I could be wrong, and I just try to get a most accurate representation of reality. Results are what I'm after, and so to me, results are the guiding principle here, and so I try to iterate my process and focus in on those results. So if you guys find this valuable, please give it a like, subscribe. And if and then in my Telegram, I'm going to go over, if you want me to go over the next 50 down projects, because I think that could be an interesting analysis as well.